Alright, I guess I'm going to try and make a video on how I do this. So here goes. Got a little creative today. So I want to show you how I can take all these bags and make this. Now you may wonder, well, what is that? Well, this is a little trash can I'm going to use in my Jeep. And I put a little handle on it so I can put it like on the gear shift thing. But I'll show you how I do this, and I'll probably do it in steps. So I'll get the next step ready and do the next clip. So that's how I'll try to talk us through that, because I don't really know how to, I don't have room to set the camera up to kind of take it while I'm doing it. So here we go. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is I want to make all the bags, kind of straighten them out a little bit. And I have to cut the handles off. Let me move these out of the way. Alright, so we have this. And I'm just going to try and straighten it up. And I kind of fold it over. Because, of course, I've been doing, like, making some yarn. Or plarn, as it's called. So I want to kind of show you what I do. I just kind of fold it up a little bit, and that kind of irons it out too. And then I'm going to cut the end off here at the end of the bag, so we'll cut that off. And then over here I'm going to cut the handles off and try to cut as straight as you can. So that gives us these handles, and I'm going to use this part, so I want to keep that. This part I can recycle or throw away. So now that you've cut the bag, you open it up, and it's like that. So you try to open it all the way up, and then just kind of spread it out with your hands. Got caught up in the mic wire. Alright, so spread it out like that. So you're going to do that to all the bags that you have. I think I have 6 bags. So let me get that done and I'll be back. Okay, so I have about 5 bags stacked up. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. That's all the glue I had because I wanted this all blue. So you're going to use your iron, and do not have it set on high. It's probably about medium setting, because if you have it set on high, it will melt the plastic. So you need parchment paper, and you're just going to try to fuse it together. And like I said, it doesn't take much heat. And I have to be careful so I don't melt the bags, because I don't want to melt them. I just want to fuse them together. So I'm going to do that. That's kind of what's happening there, and I'll get back with you. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like when you're done ironing it, and of course the sides are not evenly straight, and I want them to be straight. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut the sides so they're straight, and then we'll fold it over and get our bag made. Okay, so here is what it looks like now. I did iron along some of the sides because they were not completely fused together. So, but once again, you have to be really careful because it will start shrinking again and melting. So I'm going to fold it up like this, and then I'm just going to iron down this side and iron down that side, just like as if we were sewing it, but we're using an iron. So I just go along, and what I want to happen is I want this to fuse together. And it's very touchy. You have to be careful. So I kind of check it. So part of it has fused, and then this part has not. So just keep going. And don't think that a hotter iron would be better. It won't be. It will just melt the plastic. So you have to be careful for that. Oh, it's still not fused, but this top part is. So I'm just going to keep ironing to get that fused, and then I will iron the other side and come back. Okay, so I have both seams sewn. It's still hot. Or sewn, ironed down. This one area is giving me a lot of problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off corners on this side because I want a boxed bottom to make the trash can so it can stand up. Okay, so I have this little triangle that I use when I'm making bags to square the bottom off. And so what I did is I just take it and I drew a line. Now, when I'm sewing material, I just kind of sew across that line. But with this, I'm going to cut this triangle off, and then that way I can fuse those ends to this together right here, this part, and that should make the bag so it stands up like that. So I'm going to fuse those two ends, and then I'll turn it inside out and show y'all what it looks like. Okay, I'll try to show you a little bit of how I try to iron this seam. I have it under the wax paper, and I just try to make like if I was sewing it, just a little seam, and then go back and forth and kind of make the line. And I usually don't do it long enough. That's my main problem. But I need to do it probably for about 30 seconds, but I get afraid of melting it. So anyway, this is kind of what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you how I did that. Okay, so I turned it inside out, and that's the bottom, kind of squares it out. And then I've folded the top down. I'm going to iron this down, or melt it and fuse it just to kind of give it a finished edge on the top. And this is a little smaller than my other one turned out, so I don't know. I guess each bag will fuse different, shrink differently. So let me get that ironed down, and then we can add a little handle to it. Okay, so I've ironed all of that down. Some of it fused pretty good. Some of it, the edges are not fusing as well, but it's not going to come up. You're like making a mold of plastic, and plastic gets pretty hard, so this is going to be pretty hard, and it will stay open to hold little trash. You know, like when you get a drink and you get the straw paper, well, this is where you would throw it. So anyway, let's work on the handle. Okay, so I got 4 handles together. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm just going to stack them together and fuse those together. Okay, so these bags are shrinking much more than the last bag. So one handle was not enough, so I had to make another one. So I'm going to fuse these two together to make a bigger handle. Okay, so I have a handle now, and I'm going to kind of do it like that and decide which side to put it on. I don't know, might do it like that, because that might get the larger opening. If I did it here, I don't know, haven't decided. But anyway, I'm going to iron the handle on and then show you the finished product. Okay, so here is the finished product. And I decided to go with the long end because pet hair. It was just easier to iron it down, because you have to just try and hit this spot, and it's not as easy. The smaller end would have been a little bit harder. But it's pretty durable because, once again, this is plastic. And so it hardens, and you have a nice little trash bag for your car. Thanks for watching.